Silver shortages across the planet continue. Mainstream media telling you to keep calm. Everything is going back to normal. Don't buy silver. Big banks need it. What they're trying to say is when the paper contract market breaks with silver, everything else does, including your food. Those agricultural commodities, those are on futures contracts too. I'll give you the information. You decide what's happening and how to protect yourself best. Starting off here with a history lesson, we're going to jump over to Castel Nuovo in Naples, Italy. 1282, the water's dropping slow but steady, eroding the granite. But the value of money continues to hold with gold and silver. It's been used as, well, currency and money since that time. It still is today. You think it'll stop tomorrow? I don't think so, because those royal jewels stolen in the Louvre heist, yeah, gold and silver too. Even back 200 years ago, they were still valuable as money, and it still is today. Are you getting the idea that gold and silver continue to hold for thousands of years the value? It still is money. It's the bedrock of our money supply system. That fiat stuff issued is all based on this. Speaking of the Louvre heist, gold and silver, well, and the sapphires as well, and the emeralds. This was all stolen in the middle of the day. Somebody just put a ladder up, cut through the door, walked in, took it, and then took off on motorbikes. What do you see? Precious stones, gold and silver, always have value through history. So what happens when the paper collapses or we try to move to something else that they try to substitute? Yeah, crypto's great. But will it really take up something you can hold in your hand that's been used for thousands of years? They're trying to get us right now ready for this change. If you're not noticing the narrative, the message is we're in a great time of change. If you haven't noticed that since, say, 2019, and we forgot about COVID already, if you didn't notice, that was the inflection point. And now we're at another great inflection point now. The compliance inflection point was then. This is the monetary inflection point. So notice those two are in lockstep. What will be the third will be, I'm not sure. So let's take a trip around the globe. Where are the shortages happening? Japan dealers suspend sales. Gold and silver rally, pumping it. Japan stopping. Oh, wait, Korea as well. Domestic banks halt silver bar sales from the 20th. That was yesterday. 1 kg bars, or about 35 ounces, all the way until January 1st. Who gets that? Government. You peons, you peasants are not allowed to own the metals. Again, things are repeating and rhyming in history where kings and queens owned the resources and the metals and the peasants owned copper or something else. We're coming back to the same thing. It's just really interesting how it rhymes. Market Sniper Francis Hunt, shout out. We've done a couple interviews you can check out. Just last month we did an interview together. No silver Krugers available in South Africa. The Rand refinery out. So South Africa being out of gold, that's a big statement right there. And then we move over to the gold rush in Vietnam. The government had lifted restrictions on buying bullion. And as soon as they did, wham, 0.3 tael. That's about 37.5 grams, a little over an ounce. If we're going to do, like, say, 33 grams for an ounce, depending on if you're on English weight or standard. And you had to register in advance to sign up for this. And these people who couldn't get a full ounce, they had to buy rings. So they're happy to get gold rings. They can't get gold bars, so they're happy to get gold at any way, shape, or form. They're not selling the 1 gram pieces like they do in China, but they're happy to get plain rings instead. Some gold better than no gold. Gold has gone mainstream. You're seeing it everywhere, and prices keep climbing. Every day, more and more Americans are catching on to the power of gold, but how do you actually take advantage of it? How do you invest in a way that's safe, simple, and built for the long run? That's where Noble Gold Investments comes in. Noble Gold's specialists are trained to help investors like you to go from confused to confident, from wondering what's next to knowing exactly what to do. Whether you're looking to roll over an old 401k into a gold IRA or want physical coins and bars delivered right to your home, Noble Gold makes that process simple, safe, and stress-free. You'll get step-by-step guidance, transparent pricing, and US-based service team that's handled over $2.5 billion in precious metals transactions. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com to claim your free wealth protection kit today. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. And for a limited time only, a bonus for new qualified accounts, a 10-ounce silver American flag bar and a 1-ounce silver American Eagle proof coin. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Noble Gold, helping you build a stronger future. Of those who have used gold, probably nearly the longest on our planet, except for the Egyptians and Sumerians. Once you get over into China, that whole Asian area, 5,000, 4,000 years of usage of gold. And we question whether it's still valuable today through our media and what you're taught if the paper is more valuable. I don't think so. India, largest precious metals dealer refinery. First time in history, due to high demand, it is out of silver. Now, those elephant figurines, pretty. I agree, but I like the bullion myself. I like the bigger bars. Now, just to put it in context, if you own this much silver, you'll be in the top 1% of wealthy of the world after this transition is complete. And that's a no BS assessment. Seriously, if you own this much silver, you are going to be in the top 1% of wealth class on the planet as we move forward. The fiat's collapsing as we speak. It might move over to stable coins and this and that and the other, and it might move to, it's the wealth of history. You would be considered a duke or an earl for owning that much silver in today's world. Now, where does that take you on the wealth scale in terms of working a regular job? You don't. You own castles. You own thousands of acres of parcels of land and vineyards and these types of things is what dukes and earls owned. That much silver will allow you to acquire that as the collapse occurs and they reset the currency. But anyway, the finest of jewelry come out. So people need to get the precious metals for Diwali. And there's been a run on metals across India. So who gets the metals again? The National Bank and the government take all the metals. There's no more imports coming in. If they do, it goes straight to the coffers of the Indian government. So the Indian spot price over right now, they're paying approximately $8 over what you would pay over in London to get the physical metal right now. And again, they call it a backwardation, where there's about a $3 difference to pay to get it right now. So let's say you buy 1,000 ounces, you have to pay $3,000 above what the actual price of it would be at $50. People are willing to pay anything to get the physical metal in the hand. So this is where we've gone now, where the markets are completely broken. That's what I'm saying. India restricts the imports. So if you bring it in, you can bring it in, but government takes it instantly. And that's the whole thing about this. And I guess it's not going to alleviate until, get this, March 31st. That's like 6 months from now. Indian government says any metal coming in, gold, silver, we take it all. You bring it in, great. We'll take it right then. Spot price, no overage, and you give it to the government. So they're basically restricting imports except into the central bank there. So nobody on the street can get it. Silver sold out. China's white metal passes $125 an ounce. This is the craziest thing. Silver here in the West right now, I know it crashed down from, say, $54 down to $48. But in China right now, they're asking about $125 an ounce. And I thought, really? So here you are. This is the only one online dealer still selling or allowed to sell silver as of 3 days ago. I haven't updated the slide from this, but it's going for $128.50 per ounce. But $128 an ounce. Now, if you could take an airplane over there, would they buy it for that? I don't know. Would the government allow that? But then we swing over into Hong Kong. These are the bullion dealers' lines. How many people are waiting there? Word has gotten out pretty much everywhere except the United States, possibly Europe. But you see around the planet, they're lining up to get gold. From Vietnam to China, India, some of the world's largest populations are running as fast as they can to spill out their fiat into precious metals. Why are we not even hearing about this barely in America? There's a run on the banks. There's a run on the gold and silver supply across the world right now. That's the whole thing. Like, when are people going to wake up, or the general populace going to wake up? Well, when you do, you're not going to be able to buy it online. If you looked online already, I mean, 75% of the offerings are not available right now. I don't care which bullion dealer you go to online, take a look around. Nearly everything's out of stock or pre-order. You either had a chance to get it weeks, months ago, or if you get it now, you're going to pay incredible premiums on everything, and most of it's not available. But investors are flocking. But don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. As the media says to us here, gold current breakout feels spectacular, but in context, it's just nothing major. So go back to sleep. Don't worry about the metal. Let the big banks have that. How dare you? It's not okay. They're trying to get you into complacency. This is the switch of the monetary system. If you didn't know, the Genius Act and the whole stablecoin issuance to get treasury bond issuance and like demand for that so our economy doesn't collapse. This whole thing with the gold into that too. If you don't see that, I'm sorry, you're looking at the wrong channel. You need to go to a cat videos or something because this is the wrong channel for you. Now here we jump. This is silver price. And again, media is running around going, oh, look, the silver price is collapsing. It's collapsing. It was 54 and then it dropped down to 48. And that's on the 200-day moving average. So those of you out in the quant side there, it should bounce off of this, should it not? It should not deconstruct below that level. But if we look back in time, even the collapse back to 48 brings us to the all-time highs in 2011 and 1980. But it was far above that. It was at 54, off the chart, literally off this chart here that they pegged for 1980 to 2011. It's off that and it collapsed back, and it actually is at parity, right at 48, all-time highs from those previous two. Now, once this correction and all these paper contracts get smashed back down again, we're going to roll up to all-time highs. And those with half a brain cell left understand that the US dollar is priced in gold. And I could also say the same thing in silver. It's an inverse. Why do you think the silver and gold prices are going so high? Well, the purchasing power of our dollar is decreasing to the point. That's why everything costs so much more when you go into the store and buy it. Those are the types of resets. That's what I'm saying. Any metal at all is going to be something to protect as we move through this. I do appreciate watching. Hope you got something out of it. If you like this type of information, it takes me a minute to put it all together. So please support my sponsors here. Victor Nutrition International. When was the last time you could trust your gut? Enzorb. That link's in the description box below. vni.life/civilization. See you next time. Bye for now.